Breaking news. Breaking news is like if an oops in the monster lab went horribly right. This beast was created by Henderson in December 2018 and stands somewhere between 381 to 411 meters tall, so basically a skyscraper of nightmares. The skin is jet black and so matte it seems allergic to light reflection. Think of someone dragging tar over a giant's body, then forgetting to add feathers. Its torso and legs are thin, almost skeletal, ribs faintly visible, arms gorgeously long, so long they brush the ground. It prefers to walk as a biped, but it can use its arms to run faster on all fours. The head and neck are freakishly elongated and crooked, drooping this way and that like a weeping willow in a stiff wind. Oh, and the head is featureless, of course. No eyes, mouth, ears, or nose. Its behavior is more mystery than manifesto. Not much is known. Images show it motionless, often at night, maybe napping, maybe just avoiding the weight of its destructive responsibility. It's almost certainly a destruction giant. Cities tremble, things get smashed. Possibly people don't live through the encounter. Some think breaking news might be identical to the giant with red dots, minus the red dots in pics, because of how similar they look. Essentially, breaking news is like a colossal charcoal smudge with arms that stretch to the horizon, haunting the dark, ready to wreck stuff. At this point, I'd grab some snacks and watch him do what he does best. Misty Storm Wanderers. Misty Storm Wanderers are giant, fog-shrouded beings whose idea of recreation is lurking, clawing, and terrifying people who look valuable. They're like slinky horror movie guest stars who showed up uninvited in a thunderstorm and decided they might as well stay forever. They've got dark white skin. Yes, that's a thing. Look it up. Legs so long and thin they make stilt walkers look pedestrian, and a bunch of plantigrade feet with sharp claws, 4 toes each, that could shred roofs. Their bodies are mostly legs, the rest is twisted, insectish, and wrapped in fog. They don't have visible eyes or normal faces, just spikes on their head and back, sharp mouth parts, asymmetrical joints, and that lovely fog concealing most of their horror show. There are at least 2 wanderers seen, each subtly different, one with an especially grotesque leg setup, the other more insectoid and more enveloped in dense, eerie weather. Behavior-wise, of course, they team up. They hunt worthy humans, whatever that means. They've got sharp claws for grabbing, legs built for striding over buildings, maybe even bouncing across rooftops. They show up when storms are active. Storm warning equals might want to hide or at least stop being worthy. So yeah, the Misty Storm Wanderers are like your worst weather forecast. Stormy, eerie, giant, clawed, and collecting humans. If you see dark clouds gathering and hear the clang of sharp claws, maybe don't be valuable today. The Misty Giant. The Misty Giant is like the Wandering Doom's weird brother. It's a skeletal behemoth who screams, "Be my friend or die," probably. It's quadrupedal, so 4 legs, yes, but those legs are skinny, bony, and horseish, with forelegs bending front back front and hind legs doing the usual horse hoof retraction thing. The ribs are visible, pressing against skin so thin it's basically a walking rib display rack. Deceptively frail meets fashionably macabre. Behavior-wise, the Misty Giant belongs firmly in the Destruction Giant Club. It shows up in serried ranks of mist and bad weather, like those first few spooky days of fall, but with less charm. Though small for a giant, about 68 feet tall or 20 meters, compared to its kin, it can still flatten cars, shred medium buildings, and do more damage than your last spilled coffee on paperwork. The Misty Giant wouldn't get far in New York, but could really do a number on Clinchport, Virginia. But the real fun is that it might mind control people. Yes, despite being eyeless and frail looking, it's got charisma. Always making new friends, Trevor Henderson said, in quotes that definitely do not mean consensually making friends. Mobs of people follow it against their own will, presumably to do things giant things want done. Useful if you need minions, less so if you value free will. If the bone-crushing skeleton man doesn't get you, the mindless mob of unworthy sin zombies will. Because of its cute little minions, some compare him to Big Charlie, but in my opinion, Big Charlie is more sweet boy and less cosmic horror. If you go back a few videos, we explained who he is. Definitely check it out. Anyway, in short, the Misty Giant is like the skeletal director in a horror show shrouded in mist, commanding crowds and wrecking stuff. Sucks to be the stage. If you see mist creeping in and thin horror coming forward, just stay in that car and locked in. 20th Century Boy. The 20th Century Boy is not your nostalgic rock anthem buddy, nor does he resemble a male human child. He's an enormous, otherworldly giant, better known in the midnight skies. Also answers to Sky Screamer. Physically, he's a massive, gooey black blob whose body said, "I'd be a kraken if I had more of a corporeal form," then added extra tentacles for flair. He has no obvious human torso, no neck you can point at, just a face that looks perpetually surprised. Or is he mocking us? I feel mocked, and a writhing mass of tentacles. He seems to haunt the night sky, floating or appearing above us mere mortals, declaring without words some grand villain villainous intent. One guess, he believes he's here to destroy folks judged unworthy by whatever godly scale the giants use. Kidnapping? Probably. Screaming at the moon? Definitely. Kind of feels like the universe's weirdest Uber for the condemned. His goals are grand in scale. Kill and destroy every unworthy human. Because subtlety is overrated. What makes someone unworthy? I'd like to hurl certain people straight at the cosmic judgment giant. What's one pet peeve that would make you deliver someone directly to the eldritch horror? For me, it's people who speed into a parking spot they can clearly see me waiting to take. 20th Century Boy or Sky Screamer to friends and family is like your worst blackout version of a ditched Lovecraft creation. Huge, black, drippy tentacles, weird expression, full-on ominous mode. If you see him looming above, duck first, scream second. Maybe invest in stronger roof supports. The giant bird. The avian giant is a giant birdish humanoid beast, built like an oversized tadpole with a rib cage in the wrong place. Long, gangly limbs and more wrinkles than a roadside leather couch with a free sign slapped on it. Its skin is pale white, its torso is spindly but too large to be healthy, and its neck stretches up where its head actually begins. Or ends. Hard to tell. This creature has a bird-shaped beak that's bigger on top than bottom. Someone get this poor guy a mewing tutorial, but it seems blind. No eyes in sight, none in sockets, none in nostrils. It compensates though. There are weird pincer organs that might be extra heads or mutant limbs, sprouting mid-torso with tendrils and what could be limbs. Just every possible biological feature thrown in a salad spinner. Behavior? Chaotic. It wanders near cities, shakes the ground, makes birds scream and leaves. No signs it's plotting world peace. It might even regrow body parts so fast it's like a murder gecko. Definitely not your backyard chicken, so if you hear thunderous flap flap and birds screaming, maybe just stay in bed. Let me know below your theory on the giant bird's origin. Personally, I think scientists tried to recreate a pterodactyl Jurassic Park style but did a super bad job. Treehead. Treehead is like the world's biggest scarecrow decided it was tired of being stationary stuck up on a pole. He's a gargantuan humanoid, about 1,000 feet tall. Yep, taller than most cell phone towers. Your move, Siren Head, whose idea of a hairstyle is a forest of heads. From afar, especially at sunrise or sunset, Treehead looks like a shifting silhouette against the sky, with pinprick white eyes glinting out of a tangled mess of human heads. Up close, its torso is strangely ribby, skin so thin you can almost read its bones email, and arms thick but ending in skeletal hands. 3 clawed fingers and a thumb that seems like the shy one hiding behind the others. The real showstopper is its many heads, with long hair that might be tendrils, thick enough to not be just hair, draping like treetops in gloom. Each head has glowing eyes that peer in every direction, as if Treehead is constantly reading your secrets but politely refusing to confirm. Nobody really knows where it came from. It might be part of the giants, because of its scale and humanoid shape, but Trevor Henderson himself said a witness only saw it in passing. The fire giant. The fire giant is a hulking alpha of dark blue-gray flesh, with weird fire patches glowing on his body like someone spilled hot sauce on a cold slab. Arms? Yeah, 2 of them. One is normal, the other's just a little higher up and longer like he couldn't decide how to position it, so he went with awkward asymmetry. His shoulders don't match either. His face is featureless, of course. Giants don't concern themselves with non-verbal communication. He's about twice the height of a barn. That's about 60 feet or so, which makes him bigger than us, but far from the most heaving beast on this list. Just enough to gaze down at roofs and think, yes, you're beneath me, losers. His behavior is far from neighborly. He seems set on burning barns and being generally menacing. The fires on his body might be decorative, in a burn everything kind of art piece, or just part of his anatomy. There's also a hole in his chest that spits fire. Talk about heartburn. No? Tough crowd. Origins are fuzzy, as origins of horrific giants often are. He wouldn't be so scary if you knew for a fact he grew up in Saskatchewan. He was possibly summoned with a second moon, possibly part of the giants who judge and destroy the sinful. It's unclear whether he arrived before or during the giant chaos time. Anyway, he's essentially your worst BBQ nightmare. Towering, faceless, flaming, but not flammable, and with more firepower than an open plain in July. Definitely not someone you want messing around near your barn. The Wandering Doom. The Wandering Doom, also known as Gigantovoidus clavicorpus, yes, that name sounds like someone ate a Latin dictionary and burped, is one of the giants in charge of the apocalypse. He was wrongly dubbed Day 18 by fans, but the explanation is deep lore you'll have to find on your own. Physically, it's like anatomy class went theoretical. It is huge. Exact height and weight are unknown because you don't want to measure it too closely. As a quadrupedal, it walks on 4 warped legs. Its skin is thin, stretched tight over a sharp skeleton with its ribs sticking out and pelvic bone showing through. The front legs are weirdly jointed with 3 joints in the forelegs, but only 2 in the hind legs. Feet, no toes. The neck is long and thick, possibly more horn than neck, leading to a human-shaped head, but mutated beyond recognition and no face to speak of. On its chest are bony protrusions. Maybe horns, maybe some grotesque mouth, maybe just decorations. No one's quite sure. The body other than its legs is shadowed. The legs show pale brown skin beneath the gloom. The Wandering Doom belongs to the giant class, Big G. It's affiliated with other giants like behemoth and overlooker. It's part of the destruction crew. Mayhem, ruined everything for humanity. It doesn't need fancy powers, it just is. Brute force, overwhelming scale, no need to complicate it. Absolute tank. Thanks for watching our breakdown of the giants from the mind of Trevor Henderson. Do you think these creatures are based on the Rapture? What's your plan in the event of a giant-based apocalypse? Comment below.